The city has also activated an emergency resource center to help those impacted by the shooting.
You know, for all of the rage bait and the lies and the subterfuge and the distractions and the conspiracies about how violence in politics is only from the left. And then we hear Brian Kilmeade want to exact violence against a marginalized, traditionally abused population in homeless and mentally ill people with just kill them. Involuntary lethal injection, which is murder. And he wants to bring this to bear, death, if you're mentally ill, or if you're too poor to have a home. This is what he wants, right? This is what the right wing wants. They're frothing at the mouth. They are excited about the prospect of killing. So it makes you wonder, after his little fake scripted apology that was written for him by someone else that he read from a prompter, how little Brian Kilmeade is reacting right now with the assault on homeless people across the country. Multiple things have happened in just the hours after Kilmeade made it be known. Well, we'll just play that clip if you're not aware, if you haven't seen wherever you've been, him explaining his desire for the mentally ill, who are mentally ill by no fault of their own, and homeless, who are homeless oftentimes by no fault of their own because they're just poor and don't have enough money for a home. Watch Brian Kilmeade.
We don't have to, we feel so compassionate because you see the mental health crisis happening.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not our job. We shouldn't have to live in fear while they figure out what's going on right there.
Right.
Put them in a mental institution, put them in a jail, and you guys figure it out. But people having to duck and dive on the trains and the buses, walking through the street, this is one case, but this is happening all across the country, and it's not a money issue. They have given billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Here we are, but hours, just a few days after that comment was callously made, a disgusting, violent remark on the part of one of the talent over at Fox News. And by the way, he didn't stand by it. It was so egregious that he had to apologize, right? So he doesn't agree with it. He said, obviously, I think they should be treated with compassion and empathy. Obviously, even though...
Just kill them.
In the wake of that remark, there was a mass shooting at a homeless encampment in Minneapolis. And that's not all the violence that has come to bear against the homeless population in this country. There were 2 lynchings. One, a black man in Mississippi on a college campus. The other, that person wasn't homeless. What's his name? Trey Reed. The other, Corey Zukadis, was a homeless man who was found hanged in Mississippi. Is that a coincidence that within a day or two, 2 individuals were found dead hanging from a tree? One black man, one homeless man?
Just kill them.
I don't know. Here is a brief snippet from the news in Minneapolis about the homeless encampment shooting that left many people injured. Some people had to crawl back into their tents with gunshot wounds to their heads. Just kill them, huh, Brian?
Just kill them.
Watch this.
A dozen people hurt in 2 mass shootings just a mile apart. And today, video from our chopper shows garbage trucks clearing out the site of one of those mass shootings, an encampment in Minneapolis. New at 6, the man who owns a parking lot says that he might just open up that camp again. Jason Rantala spoke to him, and he joins us now. Hi there, Jason.
Yeah, that's right, Amelia. City crews spent the day today clearing this camp. City officials say next steps include getting a court order, hopefully by tomorrow, so they can put up a fence around the area here. As for the 70 or so people that were staying at this encampment, the city says they've provided resources here daily for access to shelter and treatment. The city has also activated an emergency resource center to help those impacted by the shooting and to connect people with resources. The man who owns the lot says he allowed the camp to continue against city orders because he doesn't believe the city is doing enough to address homelessness.
I'm not here to fight. Do you understand? This is not a fight with me. This is a humanitarian deal. And I have no idea what the fight is. I mean, I have a right to open the camp again, as far as I'm concerned. It's all frustration. He's doing this, showing off. He's flexing muscles. We'll see what happens.
This is simply not a strategy that works. It is not safe. Our obligation is clear. Help people transition into safer, healthier alternatives, not allow them to languish in conditions that guarantee the kind of tragedy that we just saw.
Mayor Fry, what kind of conditions would guarantee a mass shooting? What kind of fear-mongering are you doing? What kind of action are you taking to ensure that people have a shelter, have home? What are you doing? That's a lot of bravado. It's a lot of talk. We need action in this moment. These people are not homeless by choice. They are homeless because they are poor. Poverty is a policy choice. What are you doing through policy, elected representative of the people? What are you doing through policy to abate poverty, to give these people, to provide for these people who don't have enough? What are you doing other than bluster? The conditions that would guarantee this happens. What conditions other than easy access to weapons guarantees a mass shooting at a homeless encampment? And by the way, the guy you saw there who owns this land, this is some of the consternation for the city here, is that this is private property, and the man who owns this land allowed these people to be there. So the city doesn't have the right to trespass on private property, to remove these homeless people, the scourge of homeless people who are just sleeping outdoors because there is no indoor place to sleep. And someone took a gun. And again, we don't know the motivations. We don't know the motives. We don't know all the details. But it's mighty coincidental, is it not, that on the heels of Brian Kilmeade saying,
Just kill him.
Just kill him, we have this. And then let's turn to Mississippi. 2 men found hanging from trees in Mississippi on the same day. And if you listen to authorities in Mississippi, I don't know why you would have listened to white authorities in Mississippi on whether or not these were suicides or whether or not these were actual race-based or class-based attacks, especially on the heels of the Brian Kilmeade comment.
Just kill him.
But let me tell you, it's suspect, is it not? What a weird coincidence. This is from the Mississippi Free Press. Homeless man found hanging from tree in Vicksburg, raising fears after earlier DSU hanging. The body of 35-year-old Corey Zucaitis was found hanging from a tree in a wooded area off of Washington Street in Vicksburg, Mississippi on Monday afternoon. Zucaitis was from Brandon, Mississippi. Quote, "It was a white male in a wooded area where people who lived there are homeless and on drugs," Warren County Coroner Doug Husky told Mississippi Free Press on Tuesday morning when asked for details. "He is homeless. I talked to his family." What does him being on drugs have to do with anything other than to malign the man's character after his death? What bearing does it have on it? Coroner. Unless you've done a toxicology report and found that the drugs are what killed him, and that apparently he crawled up into a noose, his dead body, to hang himself. What does it have to do with anything? This is why you don't trust the authorities in Mississippi, especially related to class-based lynchings. The thousands of black people who have been tortured and murdered in the state inside the borders of Mississippi is unconscionable, and they continue their legacy of lies and covering up for racism and violence like this. So look, we don't know. if the loving, empathetic, and compassionate comments of Brian Kilmeade,
Just kill him.
if they led to this, we don't know. But again, wow, what a terrible coincidence for the beady-eyed Brian Kilmeade, who wants homeless people to be killed. Their crime, of course, being poor. Conservative Ideology 101. This lesson brought to you by Brian Kilmeade.
Just kill him.
What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. We can have it in the comments below the video, wherever you're watching it. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. I love and appreciate you very much. Thank you for subscribing. If you subscribed yesterday, we crossed 1.2 million subscribers on YouTube. And we are gunning down 10,000 followers and likers of the Facebook page, Dollemore Daily, over there. Thank you very much for your participation and your support of this work, of this truth-telling in this very scary moment in our national history. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.